This is not the best angle, but you're on a stack of books, so I'm just kind of doing what I can to introduce this vlog. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla. I went yesterday to our local Little Free Library, but it was a new one that I had not been to yet. We have some really good ones in my area and in the neighborhoods around me, and so I went there to drop off a book called The Nursery by Sylvia Molnar, and I was originally going to do a full review on that, but I actually just posted a review on Instagram. I didn't do like a full review, so actually if you're interested in some extra reviews and stuff like that, I sometimes post like little blurbs about what I'm reading, so you can follow me there. You can not follow me there, I don't care. But anyway, I will insert some clips of me going to drop that off and visiting that Little Free Library right here. Ended up getting this book by Emily St. John Mandel, and this was such a beautiful find. The second I saw it, I was like, there we go. I browsed the rest of the library, but I knew that that's what I was going to take this time. Definitely will be revisiting that library. It seems like quite a few people stop at it pretty regularly, and it has a good rotation of books, new, old, all sorts of like random books. But I'm really excited about this one. I just started it last night, which is why I'm kind of starting this reading vlog intro and everything now, because I hadn't read any of it yet. So I did not love Sea of Tranquility, but something that is always noteworthy about Emily St. John Mandel is that she has just a way with her prose. She writes beautifully. And this seems like it may be more in the vein of Station 11. Like, it's a story that so far I'm quite interested in. I just started it. I'm not that far or anything, but basically this story is following someone named Paul who is going to school for accounting, I guess. Yeah, he's going to school for accounting. I believe the year is like 1999. He's going to school for accounting, but his actual passion is music, specifically piano. I think he talks about compositions. Clearly he's into classical music. I love all of the classical music references, but he also has like some drug issues, and I don't know. Anyway, so he was at a party or a club or something and was handed these pills. There was a girl that he liked who actually he asked out. She turned him down. He ended up giving she and her friends the rest of the pills, and they were supposed to be but they were like cut with something, or they were a bad batch or something, and one of this girl's friends actually ended up dying, and he saw this all happen at the club, saw this guy get taken away on a stretcher and fled to, I guess, Toronto. I want to say Toronto. He is low-key fleeing to his like sister Vincent, who he has not seen since she was like 13, and she is almost 18 now, I believe. This is, I guess, where things are going to start picking up, because on the inside jacket, Vincent is the character who they talk about. I don't think they talk about Paul even at all, so this must be where kind of the real meat of the story starts. And it talks about how Vincent is, I don't know, she gets like a mysterious message at her place of work or something like that, and the person that it was like intended for, I believe, ends up like marrying Vincent. I don't know. We're gonna kind of see what happens. My baby's playing with a dog toy, so I'm probably gonna be able to read a little bit more tonight, post bedtime and everything. Anyway, I'm gonna go. My baby wants to play. I'll update you a little bit later once I've read a little bit more. I got to read a little bit more, and it's become more apparent who Vincent is. That's Paul's sister. I kind of talked a little bit about Paul being our introduction into this story, and then after he gave the kid Charlie Wu the bad E at this one club, he like fled where he was. He's from Toronto, I think Toronto, and he fled to Vancouver where his half-sister Vincent lives. I'm gonna say I'm not sure if it's supposed to be Vincent or Vincent, but anyway, he fled to go see her. She is like 17 now, now and is basically working and living as an adult. I think she dropped out of high school. I don't know if she's going to be going to college, but she's like working and living as an adult. Oh my gosh, so funny. She's working and living as an adult and is working at this crazy hotel that's like on this little island by Vancouver Island. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's basically like this really, really nice 5-star hotel that is in the middle of like the wilderness. It's really remote. You can only get there by boat. And so she's working there as like a bartender, got him a job as well as, I don't remember exactly what it's called, like a lobby manager, something like that, where he like basically cleans and takes care of the lobby and makes sure everything is put together. I don't remember exactly what the title was, but that's what the job is. So basically they're working at this fancy hotel. They're awaiting like a really, really fancy client, super important client who actually bought the hotel. He liked it so much he purchased it. They're awaiting the arrival when suddenly this crazy graffiti shows up on the window. Somebody writes with an acid marker. That's apparently a thing. They write with an acid marker, "Why don't you go swallow glass?" which is such a specific and weird and creepy thing to write. So here's starting like definitely some intrigue about who wrote this, because they're in such a remote location. They looked at the cameras, it looked like just a random hooded figure. So it's really interesting. It was clear it was intended for someone in the lobby to read because they wrote it backwards. And yeah, that's where we're at right now. This one guy, Walter, who also works there, was like, "Oh, I think Paul is kind of creepy, so maybe he had something to do with it." And so we're just gonna see what happens, but I'm really intrigued by this. I'm already intrigued very much by Vincent's character as well. I am such a sucker for like a really good setting for a story, and this is a great setting, so I'm really enjoying it so far. I'll update you once the plot moves along a little bit more. I'm gonna read a bunch tonight because I'm just so excited to read more of it. Yeah, super good. Thanks, little free library. Okay, so if you can hear my air conditioning, sorry, but I just got done reading a little bit while my babies were napping and I was snuggling them, and it was so nice. But definitely the story started picking up. That guy, Jonathan, what's his name that I was talking about? There's something on the lens. Anyway, that guy, Jonathan Alkaitis, I think, that showed up at the hotel. That was really important. He had ended up buying it. Well, he and Vincent kind of hit it off. She's been living with him now, and she has like, they wear wedding rings and they like say that they're married, but they're not really married. They're just like kind of, anyway, they're not really married. They just want it to seem like they're a little bit more stable, like they're together. And they keep referencing his like investment things, and I'm pretty sure it's going to come out that it's some sort of a scheme. Actually, I'm almost positive it's going to come out that it's some sort of a scheme. The way that it's referenced, it's just sketch. So anyway, kind of interesting. She's living in this life. It fast forwarded a little bit of time. She's been in it for like, I think 3 years or something is how long it lasts. I don't know, we'll see. We're gonna kind of get further into that, but it's pretty interesting so far. I'm so interested to see what this kind of investment like scheme is and all of that, so I'll update in a little bit. I'm giving my last update on The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Mandel, and I think where I left off before was that it was revealed that Alkaitis was running a Ponzi scheme, which they dropped like tons of hints to, and it seemed kind of obvious. Vincent dipped out and went to work on a boat, and then actually ended up, and it's just kind of like a sad, it's a little bit of a sad, like bittersweet ending to the book, and I think it's a really like character driven. It's really about their experiences. It's experiential. It's very like emotional, and I really like that. But there's definitely still that mystery kind of what happened to Vincent. I think it's definitely, there's like that tiny almost like flicker of sci-fi with what happened to Vincent at the end in a novel that's otherwise like not super heavy on the sci-fi. Yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was great. I felt like it reminded me a lot of Station 11, and then some of like the good parts of Sea of Tranquility. I could definitely see how I probably would have enjoyed Sea of Tranquility a little bit more had I read this first. I just don't think I can bring myself to revisit Sea of Tranquility, but I think I would have enjoyed it more if I had read this first. So that would be like a recommendation I would have to people. I really enjoyed it. It was kind of like a thinker and a sit on it, and it really like sat with me. I really kind of savored it as I read it, which isn't always the case with books. I feel like, yeah, I don't know, I really like savored it and just like tasted every little morsel, every little bit, but it's underneath the camera right now. But we're gonna go and I'm gonna return this to the little free library, and I'll probably take you along and show you a clip of what I'm gonna get there next. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. I really enjoyed this. Definitely would recommend it. I actually don't know if this is gonna be the book that I'm gonna return. I honestly might keep this book because I enjoyed it so much, and I might return a book I already own that I'm like not as fond of or don't think I'll reread. I don't know if I would reread this, but I definitely think I will lend it to people to read. So maybe I will actually be returning a different book. I don't know. We'll see. It's hard to part with it, and even the cover is so pretty. And I love, like, being from Minnesota, I love that she is always like has these like Upper Peninsula and like Canadian characters and stuff like that, because I feel like that's just not always represented a lot in books, but such a beautiful like scenic area and just so interesting. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. Setting, characters, story, all of it really beautiful. The writing just beautiful. But I'm gonna get going. I'm like absolutely destroyed today. My baby was up half the night, so I'll talk to you later.